And that was the way everything was set up. These guys, they just jumped too well.
Yeah.
They jumped too well and they pushed me really hard, and I had to take some jumps today. You know, jumping that 95, 6, 605, 610, I think naturally you're just not going to be as sharp as you may need to be after that to be able to do anything too crazy. But yeah, I mean, today I think it was the way everything's set up and the way these guys jumped. It was just a competition.
Armando, you are still 23, but you have everything in your event. Are you ready to try something different, not pole vault?
Yeah, maybe. I think I might just start doing like long jump or something. No, but I mean, but these guys are young too, and all these guys sitting next to me are young. So I know that for the next coming years, I'm gonna have some really good competition. I have some guys that are gonna be pushing the heck out of me. So for me, I'm really excited for the future.
Damn, I'm the oldest one here though.
Maybe. How old are you?
I'm 28 now.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm the oldest one here. Damn, we're false. No?
Brian with Team USA. Mondo, congratulations again. Well done, of course. Obviously, besides this uncanny ability to jump high, you're also very consistent. 6 consecutive makes tonight, obviously impressive. What's the key to also being so consistent? And following up on that, if you don't mind, 2 consecutive World Cup titles. A guy named Sergey had 6 in a row. Is that something you can chase in the future?
I guess that would be nice, but I think I have a few more to go, it sounds like, before I get to 6. So I'll probably worry about 3, and then after 3, maybe 4, before I start getting a little bit too far ahead of myself. But I don't know. As far as the consistency, I think a lot of that is also just having a really good team around you, and making the right decisions, because pole vault's it's a very technical event, and there's a lot of game time decision making that people don't really realize, that when you're on the track, to make sure you're on the right pole, right run, right grip, right and yeah, all these little things that really add up to those crucial makes. And so you know, I know that my father is always, he knows me better than probably I know myself, especially my jump, and I know that more times than not we're going to make the right decisions on what to do.
You have a question from you?
First, I just want to say congratulations to all of you. This question that I have is for Mondo. So the LSU track and field Twitter page absolutely loves you. I feel like every time you, Shakari, or someone else from LSU steps on the track, like there's always a viral tweet about you guys. So I just want you to talk a little bit about like how awesome it is being out here with so many other LSU Tigers that are not only just competing, but competing to the highest level just like you.
Well, we love LSU, and yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty surreal thing actually, because you know, you look at somebody like Shakari, you look at Javon, who was my roommate in college, who just got his first global medal with that silver in the high jump, and
Don't forget about Vernon.
And Vernon, of course. But I was going to get to that point because he wasn't in college when we were in college. He was in college with my brother actually. So yeah, I mean, just. It's crazy to think about where we are now, especially since it felt like it was just yesterday where we were just freshmen, just cutting up at Tiger Lane, just being stupid and just having all these crazy, fun and immature memories together. And now we're here on the world stage and doing what we're doing. It's unbelievable. That's why you go to LSU, because you want to surround yourself with greatness, and you know, that's what we show that we have.
Before we move on, any question to the silver? Okay.
A question actually to the silver and bronze medalists. So Armand brings big popularity, it becomes a main event, maybe frustrating also, it's a difficult one to win. What are your feelings about being in the pole vault in this era?
Yeah, you bet. Are you ever going to let us win one? Or it's honestly, I just think it's awesome to be a part of this era in pole vaulting. Like, if Mondo's out there jumping in close to 620 most meets, jumping over 6 meters every meet, and we're just there soaking up the atmosphere, getting getting some of the like exposure that he brings to the sport through us as well. It's honestly just a privilege to be out there with the guy because he's pushing the sport to a place that it's never been before. And yeah, I'm sure EJ and Chris both agree that we wouldn't want to be in any other era of pole vaulting other than maybe Budget Zero. We probably could have been in. It's honestly the best time in men's pole vault that's ever been, and it's just a privilege to share it with these boys.
What are your thoughts, EJ? Christopher?
Well, it's a bit good and bad. Like, Mondo existing is a bit good and bad. I mean, it's good that we're being pushed to do a little bit more than what I think we would do without Mondo. At the same time, it's tough to jump 6 meters and take second, you know? Like, I think that's the first time in the history of this.
Has to be.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're happy.
Yeah, I don't really have any complaints. I mean, one of the biggest jobs, of course, that we come in here, we have to try and jump high. That's kind of our main job. But one of the more underlying things that every track and field athlete has is to try to grow the popularity of the sport. And specifically for the United States, and Mondo growing up in Louisiana, he can kind of attest to this. Track and field is not big or popular in the United States. We have football, basketball, and major league events for every single sport. Track and field is not one of them. So to be able to have Mondo give that exposure on the American side and the Swedish side, and we've got every continent covered from Asia to Australia to the Americas, because we have all these great athletes. It's doing more than, it's cool to see Mondo jump high, but it's cooler to see the exposure he has on the world and that we have on the world for track and field as a whole. So our job is to jump well and do that thing, but at the same time we have to make sure that people know what track and field is.
Next question? Here on the first row.
Question to Mondo. The path to any gold medal is never easy, but what's been the most difficult part for you this year, getting back on the top of that podium?
I mean, I think everybody's just jumping really well, and I think that tonight I would imagine has to be the best World Championship final that there's ever been in pole vaulting, and it was just at that kind of level tonight, and I think it's basically just that, and these kind of bars like 605 and everything above that, which I had to make to be able to beat EJ here, it's no joke. It's no joke, and I know for me that if I go there and I connect with a good jump, then I definitely have a good chance to be able to make it. But it's not always that easy. It doesn't always work out that way. So for me, just trying to go out there and jump as high as I possibly can. And I know these guys are going to push me really hard. So I don't know.
And the year as a whole, like what's been the hardest part?
I don't know if the year's necessarily been so unbelievably hard. I mean, it's just a year. I don't know. We had the World Championship this year, so it's one of these years where you're trying to build up to this moment, and I want to make sure that I can save a really good performance for here because I knew that that's what it was going to take to beat these guys. So I mean, I guess the year's still in progress, but thus far I think it's been really nice.
Okay.
My name is Mian with China Media Group. My question is to EJ. I know you're half Chinese, half Filipino. Have you ever thought of representing China someday?
Oh, damn. I'm representing Philippines right now. I'm very happy about it. And I'm very proud of the heritage that my mom brings. And I think part of the thing, the way I approach a lot of stuff is also from my Chinese heritage. And I'm happy to represent Asia as well in this field. So right now I'm happy with Philippines.
Next question?
Mondo, we saw some moving scenes during the warm-up where you and Greg sort of just paused to pay a tribute to Noah Lyles when he received his gold medal with the American national anthem playing. Looked like some nice moving scenes there. Could you tell us a little bit about that moment?
Wait, what did I do?
You just paused during the warm-up when Lyles received his gold medal when the American anthem was playing, and you seemed to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I am American also, so I guess it's just respect for the situation, respect for the athlete also. So I don't know. I didn't think that much of it. I think that if it was anybody up there, no matter what national anthem it would be, if I'm not doing something too crazy in the moment, then I'm gonna stop and show my appreciation for their country and what they've done for their country. So Yeah, and I'm also American, like I said.
Just last question. I saw a quote here tonight that you felt a little pressure as the defending champion. I think that's like the first time I ever hear you talk about pressure like that. Now that the job is done, could you tell us a little bit more about the pressure you have felt coming up to this championship?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a different situation, and you know, I'm so fortunate for the situation that I'm in, and to be able to collect the titles that I've been able to do, which is pretty much all the titles that you can ask for as a pole vaulter. And so now I'm going on these second rounds of things where I'm going to all these competitions as the defending champion, and it's I don't know, it's kind of the same but different actually, but it's yeah, I mean, I try to stay on top. That's a lot different thing than the climb to get to the top, because you know, it feels like your whole life you want to be in the situation, and I wanted to be in the situation that I am now, and then when it's here, it's just kind of like, okay, stay here.
A question from no?
Sorry, Dary Wolochek from Sport Hub Media Ukraine. Ernest, a question for you. 2 times 6 meters this year for you. Do you consider this season to be breakthrough for you? And if not, what you should do to consider a season a breakthrough for you?
I mean, I think I've had a really good season, jumping 2.6 meters, pretty consistent at 580, 590 range. Yeah, it is a breakthrough season.
And one small additional question: Can you tell us about your work with your coach? Because Coach Sergey Lubska, Coach, what does he give to you?
Well, I owe my career to this guy. I trained with him when I was jumping 490, so he literally made me jump a meter higher than my PR when I first met him. And I was not like young. I met him when I was 18, so I was a terrible pole vaulter when I was young. So I'm happy to be part of this group, and I owe it to that guy, Vitaly Petrov.
Next question, lady from the first row.
So actually, my question was the same for Obiena, but I'm going to go with Kurtis Marschall. Great competition tonight, and great to see you there medaling, and Australia back on the podium in the pole vault, where it had some great results in the past.
Yeah, it's been a minute since the men's pole vault has had a medal from Australia. Nina's obviously doing amazing at the moment, and I'm literally just trying to copy what she's doing. She got a bronze last year, I got a bronze this year, she got a gold this year. So you never know what's going to happen next year, boys, but I don't know, it's awesome to just be a part of such a rich heritage in the sport coming from Australia. Yeah, it's been an awesome season for me as well. I feel like this has been my breakout season, similar to EJ. Haven't quite got that 6 meter bar yet, but yeah, we're all still young. We've all got so many more years ahead of us, and it's going to be an interesting ride just being up here with the boys. It's honestly a privilege, but I feel like there's going to be a few more tussles ahead of us, for sure.
There is a question from here. No, first.
Question for Chris, Kurt, and EJ. I know you guys have enough work to do to focus on your own vaulting and achieving high bars, but I want to get your opinions and just find out what each of you guys think Mondo is capable of height-wise. I mean, they say the sky is the limit, right?
You don't have to answer that.
Yeah, it's kind of like asking me how fast I think a Ferrari can go, It's like, the cool thing is that everyone is kind of, evolving a little bit. Ernest, like everyone just said, had his kind of breakout season this year. He's been jumping great the last couple of years, but 2 6-meter bars this year. Kurtis, second time over 595, personal best for him. Haven't broken my personal best, but I feel like I'm doing okay. I feel like it's not necessarily how high can Mondo jump, it's how high the pole vault community can improve as a whole, but I feel like the main part of that is going to come from Mondo improving as well, because as he pushes us, we push ourselves, and regardless of us trying to be up there and compete with Mondo, we have to compete with the other 3 people at this table as well. So it's more along the lines of I can't really answer how high Mondo can go. I can just tell you that the pole vault community is going to continue to evolve.
Kurt?
Yeah, honestly, like how long's a piece of string? But to see what the poles this guy's jumping on comparatively to like me and the rest of the guys, me specifically, who's like 10 kilos heavier than the guy, and he's basically on the same stick as me. He can push it a fair bit higher than he's going at the moment. I can't put a number to it, but honestly, it's just awesome to be here, part of it, and yeah, go along for the ride with him. And yeah, can't wait to see what this sport can do in the future.
How high do you think you can go? I don't have a number. I mean, I share pretty much the same thought as Chris. Yeah, I'm just happy to be part of this as well. Like this generation of pole vaulters. I don't know how high this guy can jump, but
630.
That's already high.
630 seems to anyone reasonable.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm not really. I'm just not really worried about it right now. So it's hard for me to get into that mindset. We're here in Budapest for the World Championships, and for me, that's the only thing that I can think about right now. That was the whole goal of today, was to try to go out there and try to take home a gold medal, and I was able to do it. And I'm very much in the present, and I can't really think much past that. So I'm just gonna enjoy what just happened, enjoy it with these guys, and yeah, it's gonna be really well.
Thanks, guys.
We have time for one question, maybe one final question. If no, thank you everybody, congratulations.